What's up, dudes and dudettes? Welcome back. This is the one and only crypto enthusiast Light Liger here, and today I'm gonna be doing a video about this very exciting upcoming blockchain-based game called Hash Rush. And I do want to be very clear on everything you will be seeing in this video is still in very alpha. It is an alpha product. They haven't yet implemented any cryptocurrency elements inside the game, and also a lot of the core game mechanics are still out of it. So the game is basically going to be featuring 5 different stages as you play, and right now they have basically completed 2 of them, so there's 3 to go. But obviously they have implemented music, sounds, the UI, the graphics are there. It is already kind of like a working product, but it needs the late game content and needs a lot of tweaks on the economy, and a lot of balancing needs to be done before it's like a finished product. And I recommend everybody to check it out if they want to try it. You can find the download link on their website. There's no buy-in or any type of thing. Anybody can just play by registering an account. So let's talk about the game itself and its current state. And obviously, as I said, it's in alpha, so we can't be too critical about the product. So first of all, it is an RTS game akin to StarCraft, Age of Empires, Total War, and all of these other RTS classics that I've born playing. But I think it has a lot of elements and influences from SimCity type of games, where you kind of like build a society and running economy. Yes, there is like NPCs that are going to be attacking your base after you reach a certain time period, but it's not as maybe as aggressive. And what I'm trying to say is that it is not as fast-paced that a lot of other like professional RTS games are. So you can like build in peace basically and learn the game as you go. And it is like this sort of a planet that is circle, and I kind of like the camera angle and the graphical style that they have gone with the game. It is going for this sci-fi, but yet it is kind of fantasy at the same time. And your job basically on the planet is to colonize it. You have to like collect different types of resources. So there's metals, there's ore that you mine from the rocks, there's wood, there's food, and there's fireflies, which can be used to basically build these like light posts. And then there's lots of different types of buildings which allow you to create army units which you will be using to attack on different places and conquer more land. Basically, it's not a PvP game, it is a PvE, but there is this sort of an open marketplace where you can market a lot of the resources to other players basically as you harvest. So there is this sort of economy aspect inside it, which kind of creates the whole multiplayer feel to it. Not only that, what obviously the big question what people are wondering is that where does the tokens actually come into play? So they are working on their own Ethereum token, and they also will be supporting NFTs, which is non-fungible tokens. So basically, there will be only a 1 copy of that token. So you'll be crafting items inside the game, which you can be trading to other players. And this is how you make money inside the game by playing. And I have to say, even if it didn't have a cryptocurrency elements, I think there would be a lot of people playing this game regardless. It's a very nice game, but it needs a lot of tweaks obviously and polishing up until it's like a full finalized product. And also there will be skins in the game. I believe this is for units and buildings, maybe other cosmetic type of things where you can spend basically the tokens. And obviously as the game goes on, there might be a lot more use cases in future where you can use the tokens. But obviously there's going to be demand for people to get those cosmetics. People are crazy about them in very popular games and willing to pay very hefty sums about them. So I think the economy model is very fixed out because they have the inherent use case. And I've said many times that the likeliest adaptation of cryptocurrency will come through a game. It will be a one mainstream game that will break, the mainstream, so to speak, will become very popular, and will have some type of token economy inside it, which will eventually force people to learn because they want to play the game and also earn money at the same time. It's such a beautiful idea, and we have come so far from our mothers coming to nag at us like, well, gaming is a waste of time, you should do something good with your life. We heard these things. We gamers have heard this lines a million times, and now we can finally put the money where the mouth is, so to speak. So one of the things I do want to say that the graphics that you will be seeing in this footage are pretty much the high-end as you can get right now. The FPS is dropping, and that is because of my OBS recording. The FPS inside the game itself, while you're not recording, is a lot higher. So it may seem a bit like, you know, dropping frames, but that is just the recording device. It actually looks much better and runs much better once you play it yourself and if you have a decent PC. And to my understanding, it's pretty flexible in terms of what PCs you actually require to do. I think the minimum still is Windows 8, and I think you need like 4 gigs of RAM at least. And the graphics are very nice. The music is okay. I think it really fits this. You don't want to have too ambitious music in a simulator game, because simulator games, you're going to be playing them for hours a day, and you don't want something that you're going to be getting bored of too much or takes your focus attention from the game itself. One thing I did notice though is that some of the sounds felt like I'm not saying that they were low quality, but they should be put through some type of filters or something, which makes them sound like they come from the game itself. Like some of them just sounded too loud, and those need definitely some adjustments. Some type of filters or pop filters, or just lowering down the volume of maybe of these effects, like, you know, when they chop the trees and stuff like that. But as I said, it's an alpha product, and some of these things we see are still like placeholders. Other thing that I would probably want to see is color coding. This is something that is very important in a lot of high-end games, where you want to like tell the player through colors and through design like what things you can interact with the world. The problem that I've witnessed here is that a lot of the plants and everything like you see on the map, you don't necessarily distinguish by the eye what are exactly resources that you can harvest inside the game and what are just like the terrain props, what are things that are just there for the aesthetics. You have to be kind of like, maybe there should be a circle, you know, surrounding the resources, or some type of, you know, fix to that. And a lot of RTS games have done different types of things to kind of like, you know, portray the message to the player that this is a resource and this is not. That is something kind of important. I mean, it's not like this high learning curve anyways, and you will find, I mean, after some hours you will obviously find out like what are objects that you can interact with the world and what you can harvest in the world basically. But this is something that they should definitely look into. And I do think that their, you know, economy model sounds amazing. The game itself is kind of funny, because first you kind of build up your base, and then you defend it, and then you mine the crystals, and then there will be like, the enemy attacks, the NPCs start to spawn, and they start to raid your bases, so you have to like build defenses, and you have to like invade them back. And these are like very, very nice elements overall, and I'm really like I've always been a bit of a turtle player in a lot of the RTS games that I played. Like, I'm the guy who's building shit ton of towers. That's me. So this is very fun for me, because you're not necessarily playing in an aggressive mode that much in this game. More so, you're collecting resources and you're defending the resources from the enemies. And maybe in the future there will be some type of a PvP mode. I mean, there's a lot more into this game, which I recommend reading on their IndieDB pages. I'm going to leave those links down below, so you can have a better idea of the game and its late game. And there's a lot of like, still a lot of development to do with the game, but I'm wholeheartedly saying, I'm not being paid to say this, I wasn't paid to make this video, but I think this is like one of the, basically there's 3 games that I've seen in crypto which I would probably want to play, and this is one of them. And I'm very excited to see like how the economy will run out. This could definitely be literally like a market-breaking game that could, like, you know, break through the mainstream. It just needs some polishing up. I think the UI and the selection screens of the units, these are something that needs to be fixed out. Maybe I would like to have an option to zoom out for more in the game, perhaps. And, you know, maybe obviously more options to tweak the shadows and other things to give the maximum performance. But other than that, like, it is coming along very nicely. And as an alpha product, it is very impressive. It is just really about polishing and also balancing all the resources and the enemies and their raiding times and all of this, among also implementing the Ethereum blockchain into it. And I will be making future videos about this game as we get more progress and as we probably reach in the beta, and there's a lot more elements to discuss. But this is something that you definitely want to, I mean, you can't buy the tokens right now, but I would buy if I would be able to do so. But this is one of those games that is going to be definitely on my radar, and crypto projects that I'm going to be on my radar. And I do want to say that it is still unclear what platform is going to be available on. They are trying to be on Ultra. Steam is also a possibility, but obviously Steam and a lot of these fiat-based platforms may have some legal rules regarding crypto-based games, so it will be what knows what will be allowed to enter the Steam game from today, from tomorrow. But that is pretty much my rundown of the game. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more awesome crypto-based videos in the channel, and I will see you guys soon on the next video. Cheers.